It seems to me there are three obstacles to achieving more just societies. One of them is corruption, which I know is a big issue in Brazil. You know better than I about the problem of corruption, but I have read estimates that the amount of public money lost to corruption in Brazil is about 2% of GDP, somewhere around $50 billion a year. This at least is one estimate that I've read. $50 billion a year could, if properly used, enable 20 million more children to go to elementary school. It could almost double the number of beds in public hospitals. Or it could provide some 23 million people who lack access to sanitation and public sewer systems to have that access. So corruption is a big problem, and I've been reading too about the debate about the World Cup and the building of the stadiums and the demonstrations a year ago that raised questions about spending priorities. And I read recently that the stadium in Brasilia, which was budgeted at $300 million, cost 3 times that much by the time it was built. So one challenge, and it's an ethical challenge, not just a legal problem. One challenge to a just society is corruption. A second challenge has to do with the growing gap between rich and poor, with the rising inequality that we've seen in countries throughout the world, especially over the last 3 decades or so. And a third obstacle is a subtler tendency in our public life. This is the tendency for money and markets and market values to play a greater and greater role. And so what